Thank you for coming to my meeting today. I want to teach this to as many U.S. business owners, entrepreneurs, and also 1099 incomers, and also U.S. investors. We're going to start off with three very simple questions. Number one, do you want to leave a legacy for future generations? Number two, do you want to save taxes year after year, generations after generations? Number three, do you want to learn the secret of the rich? Imagine saving 4, 5, 6 figures in taxes every single year. You can use the money that is saved to pay off your mortgage, buy a new car, take your family on vacation, give to a charity, or save for retirement. Imagine all lawsuits become frivolous and go away. Think about how much time, worry, and money you can save. Imagine no one knows what you own, where you own, how much you own, or what you do with that. It's all kept completely private. Welcome to Save U.S. Taxes Legally. My name is Sally Gimmon, and I'm the owner of the TrustIsYou.com and the Great Discovery, a class called Save U.S. Taxes Legally. I want to teach this to as many people as possible. I believe every business owner, entrepreneur, 1099 income earner, and U.S. investor needs to know this information. I believe I found out the secret of the rich, and it is my duty to share it with as many people as possible. I believe the playing field must be leveled for all sizes of businesses. The Amazons of the world get free land. Well, that's not fair. The Spendthrift Trust will save you in 4 very important ways. Number 1, taxes year after year, generation after generation. You're not tax-free, you're saving very certain taxes. Number 2, your information is kept 100% private. There's a false rumor out there that your LLC, S Corp, or C Corp does that. I can go online to the Secretary of State or the Corporation Commission of your state and research all LLCs, S Corps, and C Corps. People are not aware that 40% of all LLCs get sued every single year. That's surprising. Number 3, talking about lawsuits. All lawsuits become frivolous because all assets are in the trust. It's a titanium vault, and no one can put a lien against it. So you get to save thousands of dollars and time and worry over that. And number 4, with the Benson Financial Trust, you are exempt from doing the 2024 Corporate Transparency Act from the Treasury Department. This is something the Treasury Department is doing. And if you don't do the paperwork, you could be fined $10,000 and 2 years in jail, or 2 years in jail. So please, if you don't get the trust, please do the paperwork. I know what you're thinking. You're like, how come I've never heard of this? How come my financial planner has never told me this? My CPA has never told me this. Great question. There are over 1 million attorneys in the United States, and only 4% are trust attorneys. A textbook trust attorney study in law school, the 4%, is called Scott Asher on Trusts, 5th edition. Also, if you have access to Black's Law Dictionary at a law library or someplace online, you can research the Spendthrift Trust there. When you go out to my free class on the Great Discovery, it's my name, www.sallygimmon.com. You'll get 3 articles from Forbes magazine and 2 pages of case law, because I want to make sure you know what you're getting into is legal. So, a little bit of history. The IRS tax code that is in is IRS Tax Code 643B. If you Google IRS Tax Code 643B, you will find an opinion letter from the IRS dated September 11th, 2018. It's an opinion letter. The IRS cannot change the tax code. Only Congress can change the tax code. Now, this comes from England way back when King Henry VIII started the Church of England. That same king who chopped off his wives' heads started the Church of England in 1534 and went to go tax the lords and ladies of England. They went further back into history to the Magna Carta from the 13th century, said, no, King Henry VIII, you can't do this. It's contract law that came to the colonies while we were still part of England. Our current tax code that we are under went into effect February of 1913 and was only supposed to be around for several years. Well, their idea several years and my idea several years is very different. It's now 111 years later, and the only thing our tax code has done is grown and grown and grown and grown. But back in 1913, the super rich families, the Carnegies, the DuPonts, the Kennedys, the Rockefellers, made sure they could save taxes. Well, if they can save taxes, we should be able to save taxes. So there's five very particular elements to this trust, and I want to go over those with you. The five elements: irrevocable, complex, discretionary, non-grantor, spendthrift trust. I'm going to go word by word. Irrevocable means it goes from generation to generation. It does not mean you cannot get things out of the trust. You would just sign as a trustee to get things in and out of the trust. I don't know why people are so afraid of that word. Irrevocable. The Rockefellers Trust is 7 generations old and has almost 400 people under the same EIN. My family trust is now 4 generations old, and I just got a brand new grandniece, so yay! So, irrevocable. Complex. This trust can hold money from day to day, week to week, year to year, decade to decade, century to century. 97% of all trusts sold every single year is what is called the family trust or the living trust. My mom and dad had that. Susie Orman talks about this on PBS television. The only thing the family trust does is avoid probate and then dissolves and goes away. Doesn't save you taxes, doesn't keep your information private, doesn't keep you from paying any judgments if you get sued, doesn't keep you from doing the paperwork for the 2024 Corporate Transparency Act. This is the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, and the Carnegies trust, not my mom and dad's trust. So, irrevocable, complex, discretionary. There's no taking, contesting the will or anything else like that. This is an actual client of mine. That's a husband and wife who have 4 apartment buildings in California, in the Los Angeles area. Their daughter lives in one of the apartments rent-free. They are making her do 4 random drug tests. She went to go sue them, saying it was unconstitutional. The judge looked over the paperwork and he said, you have 2 options. Option 1, move out and start paying rent. Option 2, take the drug tests and pass them, or else move out. I would not want to be a fly on their family court, on the Thanksgiving dinner. So irrevocable, complex, discretionary, non-grantor. This makes the trust 100% private. Again, that family trust I'm talking about, my mom and dad were the grantors or the settlers of the trust. So when they passed away, that's why it all dissolved. This trust, when you start it, you're going to have someone who is not a beneficiary or a trustee sign up to be the grantor or the settler. You'll need their social security number, and it is not a speed bump. If you cannot find someone to do this, I can do this for you, or somebody else from the law firm can do it free of charge. It's not a speed bump. So irrevocable, complex, discretionary, non-grantor, and then spendthrift. This has been in front of the United States Supreme Court on 2 separate occasions, and both times the Supreme Court has favored it. You cannot get more legal than this. So, Paul Benson was a Harvard Law professor. 76 years ago, he wrote 5 separate trusts to save very specific taxes. Unfortunately, he has passed away. The law firm is now run by his grandson, his great-grandson. His great-great-grandson just passed the bar. Since we're going to be spending some time together, I'm going to tell you my personal story. I started real estate investing after my mom got sick, and her first month's bill was $72,000. Getting my numbers mixed up. In 2019, I was working full-time as a Medicare broker in Phoenix, Arizona, and I wholesaled 7 properties nationwide, bank-owned properties nationwide. Woohoo! I was a rock star in my real estate group, and I paid off $184,000 in debt. I was completely debt-free. Fantastic. April 2020, my CPA calls me and asks for a meeting. You don't ever want to take a call from your CPA. So go out to Scottsdale, 4:30 in the afternoon meeting, sit down. He says, Sally, congratulations. You have made so much money, your tax bracket went from 22% to 24%. I'm like, congratulations. What do you mean by that? He goes, well, now you owe $97,000. Let me share my screen. Let me show you what it looks like. Tax brackets are between 10% to 37%. And then this is how they're going to be taxed for all the different investments. Capital gains short term are just like the um, federal income taxes. Long term capital gains are 15 or 20%. Royalty income taxes are a little bit less. He told me he was going to put me on a payment plan, had the paperwork for me. I signed the paperwork. I shook his hand, got my parking validated, went down to the parking garage, and I cried for 20 minutes. It's April of 2020, the start of COVID. I had 6 notes that people, the paper on the house, people pay me their mortgage. 3 of them didn't pay me on April 1st. Money was tight. If you know the geography, Scottsdale's east of Phoenix, so I'm driving into the sunset back to my house. Tears just running down my face. My boyfriend made dinner. 2 of us sat across from each other. We're like, we need another $29,000. I had $50,000 in my bank account. I need another $29,000. Yikes. Next morning, wake up at 5 a.m. and I knew I had read an article about the Rockefellers Spendthrift Trust. It's called The Office. It's 7 generations old and has almost 400 people under the same EIN number. If the Rockefellers can save taxes, Sally Gibbon can save taxes. I spent 5 months researching this. I started both my business and beneficial trust September of 2020, and I became the first female mastermind hostess in my real estate group. I'm very proud of that fact. So let's get into this. The trust is going to save you in the 4 ways we discussed. Keep your save taxes, keep your information private, pay no judgments if you get sued, and you won't have to do the 2024 Corporate Transparency Act. The business trust is for U.S. business owners, entrepreneurs, and 1099 income earners. You will save at least 90% on your federal income taxes, and in 43 states no longer pay state income taxes. I'm sorry, I can't help W-2 income earners. To give you an idea how much this can be, a local pizzeria here in Charlotte area has 2 locations. They make about $15,000 a month gross, $180,000 a year, saving both North Carolina state income taxes and federal income taxes. They're going to save $34,393. Let me make sure I got that correct. $34,903. Let me share my screen. I'll share this. Again, they can take this money, pay off their mortgage, buy a new car, take the family on vacation, give to charity, or save for retirement. Not them. What they did was they took the money and they opened up a 3rd location. And in 2025, they're going to open up a 4th location. So they're making more money, saving more taxes. When they retire in 3036, they will leave 2 pizzerias to 1 child with no inheritance tax, adult child, and 2 pizzerias to the 2nd child, no inheritance tax, and they too will save 1099 income taxes. Year after year, generation after generation. It's an amazing thing. I suggest that someone should be making at least $80,000 a year to start looking at the trust. When you go out to my free class on the Great Discovery, www.sallygibbon.com, I have a chart of all 50 states, and if someone is filing single, how much they will save in each state. There's 4 ways to file your taxes. Single, head of household, married jointly, married separately. Single is the most expensive way. Even in the 7 states that don't have state income taxes, someone will still save over 5 figures in taxes. Low 5 figures, but still it's 5 figures. So that's the business trust. Not trying to crow, but in 2022 and 2023, I personally saved 92% on my federal income taxes and only paid 8%. I did not pay North Carolina state income taxes. It's a beautiful thing. Second trust, the beneficial trust, is for all investors. I don't care what kind of investing you're doing. The 5 taxes you'll save are short-term and long-term capital gains, interest income, dividend income, rental income, and royalty income taxes. Year after year, generation after generation. I personally currently am saving capital gains this year, interest income taxes, and rental income taxes because I have wholesale, I have notes, and I have rental properties. I don't have any talent, and I don't invest in the stock market, so I'm not saving there. If you would like to set up a 30-minute tax breakthrough session with me, I'll show you the slide in just a second, but I really would like you to go out to www.sallygibbon.com, so you can see watch a class and get all the information. But this is my information. You can reach out to me, www.thetrustisyou.com scheduling, and the website, www.thetrustisyou.com. This is for all U.S. business owners, entrepreneurs, 1099 income earners, and investors. You could be saving thousands of dollars year after year, generation after generation. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something new. Have a wonderful week. Take care.